Almost a year ago, Farrell was announced as the new creative director of Louis Vuitton, replacing Virgil Abloh after his passing. Almost 12 months, 2 massive runway shows, a ton of man bags, and a Jay-Z performance later, we are starting to see the direction Farrell is taking the brand in. Many critics have been vocal in calling out the French fashion house's favouring of a high-profile celebrity over a more tenured designer, like Martine Rose or Wales Bonner, who were flagged as frontrunners. Others, however, feel that his approach is both exciting and a respectful continuation of Abloh's legacy and approach. There have even been claims of him being judged more harshly due to being a person of colour at one of the most famous French fashion houses. Either way, Farrell seems unflappable in his dedication to bringing his vision to the forefront, and his latest collection is a very strong demonstration of what that vision might be. When we think back to Abloh's approach under his creative guidance, Louis Vuitton menswear soared. It became central to the men's fashion conversation globally in a way it hadn't been for years. Abloh took classic Louis Vuitton elements and deconstructed them, playing with proportions, materials, and branding. Think bold colour, sheer fabrics, adventurous iridescence, and reimaginations of the LV monogram. He seamlessly blended luxury with streetwear, bringing elements like hoodies, sneakers, and utilitarian bags to the forefront. Abloh's collections often had deeper themes reflecting on social issues, race, and cultural critique. He was never afraid to push boundaries, introducing daring silhouettes and unexpected collaborations. This is what made him such a beloved designer and created some spectacularly large boots to fill. So February 13th, 2023, LVMH announced the appointment of Farrell, and the industry is really taken aback. But they shouldn't have been. With a 2019 Chanel collection, a Tiffany collab, and a 20-year-old streetwear brand by the name of Bape under his belt, Farrell was hardly a fashion novice. He certainly wasn't new. Louis Vuitton's announcement highlighted him as a visionary, with an expansive creative range encompassing music, art, and fashion, solidifying his status as a global cultural icon over the last 2 decades. This is indeed a significant aspect of his appointment, and LVMH's share price rising 2.6% to €830 following the announcement was certainly interesting to see. Farrell's fashion journey started with his partnership with Nigo, the Japanese streetwear legend and founder of Bape, who now leads Kenzo, way back in 2003. This collaboration sparked a friendship and a series of joint ventures lasting over 2 decades. That year, they launched the Billionaire Boys Club, a streetwear brand that has achieved global success. Pharrell Williams' connection with Louis Vuitton even predates his recent appointment. His initial ventures in fashion, particularly in streetwear and luxury, were highly successful. His first collaboration with Louis Vuitton involved designing the millionaire sunglasses with Nigo for Marc Jacobs' Spring-Summer 2005 collection, later reinterpreted by Virgil Abloh. The sunglasses, released in multiple colours, were part of a broader collaboration with the fashion house, including custom outerwear and the blazoned jewellery collection. Williams's relationship with Louis Vuitton extended beyond design. He was a model for their campaigns, a friend of former creative director Marc Jacobs, and a regular at their fashion shows. And now in his current role, his approach is under much scrutiny, perhaps because many don't believe he deserves to be there. But what are we actually seeing? Pharrell's signature optimism and love for colour is a prominent feature so far. He hasn't shied away from bold themes, colours, playful graphics, and refuses to take himself or the brand too seriously. Perhaps this is what people don't like. Are they interpreting his laissez-faire approach as a lack of reverence? His collections celebrate various aspects of pop culture, music, and art, referencing his own multifaceted career in some cases. We certainly get a global perspective. Farrell, particularly in this collection, brings his multicultural background and love for travel to the brand, incorporating diverse inspirations and references. And while maintaining Louis Vuitton's luxury essence is critical, Farrell seems to be aiming to make it feel more approachable and fun for a wider audience. This certainly differs from Abloh's approach, which leaned more conceptual and edgy, while Farrell's is centering playfulness. Abloh often explored deeper emotional themes, while Farrell's focus was more on the nose aesthetics and a sense of celebration. However, both designers are known for pushing boundaries and bringing fresh ideas to Louis Vuitton. They have both tapped into contemporary culture and trends, which is essential for keeping the 170-year-old brand relevant to a younger generation. And despite their distinct styles, both respect the brand's heritage and embrace its meticulous craftsmanship. So let's talk about this latest collection, which has really split the crowd. The show's theme referenced Pharrell's Virginia roots, featuring rural and blue-collar inspirations. It paid homage to American Western and indigenous aesthetics with pieces like cowboy hats, graphic jackets, and collaborations with Timberland. The collection also addressed cultural narratives, challenging stereotypes and bringing visibility to underrepresented groups in the cowboy mythos. Some criticized the lack of Mexican representation and what could be interpreted as appropriative designs and techniques. Others, however, recognized this as an homage to the rich culture and history of America's West. Farrell has also been innovative in revealing his collections. For Fall/Winter 24, he engaged audiences with teasers and glimpses on social media, leading up to a spectacular show during Paris Men's Fashion Week. The show's Western theme saw models donning high-end ranch wear, with much emphasis placed on the historical diversity of cowboys. The accessories, particularly collaborations with Native American artists, were highlights. Careful selection and placement of colors, leather carving, artwork, beading, and embroidery all demonstrated respect for cultural origins. Perhaps the care taken fell flat for some when items are priced at $6,000 and up in many cases, and feel that their local sellers produce the same or better for a couple hundred. However, critics argue that the representation on a global scale brings the beauty and importance of this heritage to the forefront, in a way that fashion should, especially when involving native artists in the work. The collection's inclusivity and craftsmanship were evident, though some critics felt it leaned too literal in its theme. And the accessories stole the entire show. The bag lineup has gone viral with mostly women ranting about securing their favorites. After his $1 million Speedy bag drew much controversy, he didn't shy away from the attention, but instead released an onslaught of various shades, textures, and reinterpretations. He entertained bag lovers with studded damier prints, leather-carved pieces, brights and neutrals, exotics and horseshoe-inspired hardware. Some pieces are truly interesting, and major news for Louis Vuitton, whose bag designs, whilst always well-received, can sometimes feel a little repetitive or even stale. Perhaps this masculine offering of rugged and rustic and folksy, embroidered, beaded, carved, and colourful range of bags is just what the LV consumers needed. Farrell's Fall/Winter 2024 menswear collection for Louis Vuitton has been noted for its reflection of his personal style, which is clearly what the brand wanted from bringing him on board. He really wears these clothes and carries these bags. It's authentic to him and his lifestyle, and clearly to many, that is aspirational. While the collection was seen as an overwhelming and covetable spectacle, it was also perceived as somewhat disjointed, with a theme that was a little too on the nose, almost costume-like to some. Louis Vuitton and Timberland collab boots, leather jackets, flared jeans, and workwear, all representative of Pharrell's own fashion history. The show's theme echoed the rural vibes of Pharrell's home state, Virginia, and featured luxury interpretations of blue-collar garments. This collection marked a shift for Louis Vuitton, moving closer to Pharrell's world, with items like expensive handbags inspired by Canal Street bootlegs reflecting his personal and artistic influences. No one knows what Farrell will do next, but we do know that he will deliver something bold and aligned with his personal vision of what unbridled creation should look like. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you've enjoyed this podcast. Please follow to catch our next one. You can find us on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at SuperluxSauce. Until next time.